Good evening, Robert Sohn, the state, the chair of the Underhill Selectboard. Today's date is August 14th. It is 6 o'clock here in Underhill Center. We are at the town hall, and this agenda has been prepared in advance and posted. We are offering a virtual option for people to participate. The first item on the agenda is to call the meeting to order, which I've just done, and see if there's any adjustments to the agenda. So, anyone have any adjustments?
I have not.
And for me,
I just wanted to add, so DLCT is doing a contest for the town report, all town reports. So I just like, if we could stick that in at the end, like under correspondence.
Sure.
If I could just have a couple of minutes, something quick.
Yep, we can put you, we'll put you in after the dump truck loan.
What is it, Russ? Again?
Just a couple of recognitions. Guess I'll call it.
Okay.
with the new open meeting rules, we can add stuff to agenda, correct?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well,
Okay.
executive session,
Except for
you
executive.
just can't, however, I believe that you could, if something important came up, you could add a possible executive session. But you just can't add a blanket executive session every
Okay.
meeting.
Okay. All right. So,
I don't believe there's anybody from the public.
no one is here at the town hall except for members of the board and staff. No one, is there any public comment in the virtual environment that would like to speak? Seeing and hearing none, we'll move right into the agenda. Are we prepared to have a presentation from the Harvest Market folks?
Yes, Jamie LaBerge is
Oh, Jamie,
online.
okay, very
Yep,
good.
I'm here.
Hi, Jamie, how are you?
Good, how are you all?
Good, thank you. We're at that point where we can discuss the sharing of the costs with the town of Jericho for the state police and traffic control coverage, so welcome.
Sure, absolutely, thank you. For those who don't know me, I'm Jamie LaBerge. I'm the new chair of the Harvest Market that's held in the Jericho Underhill area at the United Church of Underhill the last weekend of September every year. So I'll get into my little prepared speech here. So dear members of the Underhill Selectboard, I'm reaching out to discuss our annual Harvest Market event, a highlight for our community that brings joy to all who attend, which has been an estimated 7,000 to 20,000 people depending on the day and weather. To ensure the event runs smoothly and safely, we've arranged for security services with the Vermont State Police and traffic control services from Green Mountain Flagging. I'm pleased to say that the town of Jericho has decided to, or agreed to, share the cost of these services. The state police billed a total of $2,000 in 2024. Their 2025 estimate has not yet been provided. The Harvest Market Steering Committee is requesting that Underhill pay half of that total cost. With regards to Green Mountain Flagging Services, they have provided an estimate for 2025 of $440.79. The Harvest Market Steering Committee is requesting Underhill pay half of that total amount as well. We'd be grateful if the town of Underhill could join us in this effort by agreeing to split the costs with Jericho. By working together, we can continue to provide a safe and enjoyable experience for everyone involved. Thank you for considering our request, and we're hopeful for your support and look forward to another wonderful Harvest Market.
Thank you, Jamie. With that, I'm going to move that we share equally in the cost for the Vermont State Police and the traffic control services with the town of Jericho for this year's 2025 Harvest Market event in the amount of, do we have a half of, I mean, I can, well, we don't
If
know
it's-
what it's gonna be,
if
but we
it's
can say whatever
I was
half.
gonna say, if it's close to what last year's was, which so far I anticipate it will be from my conversations with the state police, the half cost of both of those is $1,220.40 if we round up. It's technically 0.395 cents, but
So I guess I'm gonna say in the amount not to exceed $2,000.
perfect. That works.
That way it gives us a little wiggle room in case
I'll second that.
something unforeseen. Great, it's been moved, it's been seconded by, geez, girl,
Patty.
thank you. It's like, someone has not, I have not been drinking, you know? Any discussion? Okay, I'm gonna brief, Shara, who's just joining us now. She, said that she was running behind, and before we vote, I wanted to bring her up to speed so we can have a full board here. We are,
Sorry, everybody.
no, you're okay. We are discussing the harvest market
Yep.
and the costs associated with traffic control and having, law enforcement there. Jamie LaBerge,
LaBerge, yep.
is with us, and he's the chair of their steering committee or the chair, excuse me, of the harvest market. And so it's been moved and seconded that we are gonna split the cost in half with the town of Jericho.
Great.
So it's open for discussion. If you have any questions, feel free to, if not, we'll move the question.
I assume that's what we do in previous years also.
It has.
Yeah.
All right, ready for the question? All those in favor of sharing the costs for the town of Jericho for this year's harvest market with the state police and traffic control, not to exceed $2,000, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed with a nay. Motion carries 5-0. Well, thank you, Jamie. Is there anything else we can talk about tonight with you guys?
Thank you. No, that should be it for now. I'll certainly reach out if anything comes up, but I appreciate everyone's support and willingness to help put on and host this event every year.
We'll continue to keep our fingers crossed for good weather.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you all. Bye now.
All right. So we are now at the town administrator's items. Brad, you want to take them one by one?
Yeah. So Bob suggested, last week that we start adding like old existing business on, and I think that is a good idea. So whether you want to call them action items or old business, existing business, whatever, and just brought up some stuff that's been on his mind and it's been on my mind too, now that Maya's on board with the zoning and getting more comfortable in her role. Maybe I can get back to where I was. So Butler Road, I'll just give a brief history on that because I don't believe you were here, Patty. Were you here for that discontinuance, the town highway? I don't think
It's just
I
before.
don't think so.
just before. And Shara and Maureen, you were not here, so I'll try to make it brief. But the select board took up on their own motion the discontinuance proceeding of a portion of Butler Road. It's class 4 highway on the north end of Irish Settlement Road, goes into Cambridge and continues into Cambridge. We had a disagreement with Cambridge. They didn't agree with the procedure. Nonetheless, we held the hearing. We had a site visit, held the hearing, discontinued the highway, but as a condition of discontinuance, because basically we took most of half the highway away, and that created a kind of a dead end road with no turnaround. So in that order, that select board order, the Butlers agreed to place a turnaround at the end of the existing class 4 road as it is now. So I spoke with William Butler, and he's on vacation this week, but when he returns, maybe Russ and I can get down and take a look. It may require, if we can keep it all in the town right away, it would be good. If we can't, we may have to acquire, just a small easement to make that happen, but I'm sure we can work it out. So that's one thing that I'm glad to get back on the agenda so it doesn't you just don't lose it.
So Brad, it would be helpful to bring in a map and show exactly, there's Butler Road and Butler Lane
It's the same thing.
It's the
It's
same?
incorrectly named. No.
on Google Maps.
Yeah.
But it would be just nice to know where the turnaround would be.
Oh, yeah, I'm just saying, I'm giving you an update of what, about one of these items on the agenda. So
Yeah.
I'm just telling you where I'm at this moment.
Got it.
After we meet with William Butler, we'll come back with a full presentation. You'll be able to understand. That's just a high level overview of what it is.
There's nothing that we need to approve.
No. It was in your order. It was in your
Yeah.
order. I'm just updating you on where these things stand.
Excellent, thank you very much.
And then we will come back with more information.
Is this a town constructed turnaround or is this?
Yes. We're gonna have, emergency vehicles, if you happen to grade it. We'll come back with a full detail. You'll be able to clearly understand what the situation is. Same goes for the Robinson property. This is, as you're looking at the fire station from Route 15, it's the house just to the right. Janice Robinson. So
With your back to Jericho.
yeah, with your back to the west or if you were standing on 15, looking at the fire departments directly on your right.
Harvey Bradshaw's house.
There you go. So, right across from the Barney Tap. It's a long story, and I think if we got into the weeds about it, it should be an executive session discussion, but the long and short of it is that Janice Robinson was very adamant about keeping an existing stone wall that was in her front yard. We did that. There was some mistakes with the sidewalk. The sidewalk had to get re-poured. But after a few years, it's been 3 years now, it's looking like the wall is not a good option for the sidewalk. It's not sealed. Dirt comes out of the sidewalk, it comes out of the wall, gets onto the sidewalk. The sidewalk is not pitched properly. And again, if we want to get into super detailed discussion, like I said, I believe that would fall under executive session. But I've met with IMS. They were the company that poured the sidewalk, all the sidewalk, except for this section. So they had poured this section of sidewalk. The inspection company, the engineers, Dubois and King, that we hired to oversee the project. IMS brought up some concerns that they didn't believe the sidewalk was going to work the way the plan had. But the resident engineer that was there was adamant about sticking with the plan. So they stuck with the plan, and it turned out they had to rip it out. So this short section. Hutchins, who was the general contractor who got the job, wound up re-pouring that sidewalk and did not do a very good job. Did a better job, but not as good a job. The issue with this whole project was that it was surveyed and engineered so many years ago, probably 10 years ago from when we started it. In that time, between the time we constructed it and the time the engineering was done, Route 15 had been raised. They came in, they paved it, they raised it. So now you have a situation where Route 15 is higher. In hindsight, it probably should have been all, redesigned to bring it up more to the new Route 15 level. So the problem was that now the sidewalk created too much of a dip and you had to get up onto Route 15. So Janice's car was getting hung up. So we lifted the sidewalk in that area. We don't have positive drainage. There were some issues with her foundation, which I think have been settled, but that's definitely executive session discussion. Long and short is we need to take about a 50-foot section of sidewalk and tear it out, and then the wall can go. Convince Janice to get rid of the wall, set it back, but then we could pour curbing along that section because her her lawn is higher than the sidewalk. So we pour a little curbing, get the sidewalk to be pitched towards a catch basin near the fire station. Then we get positive flow. So that's what needs to happen. I'm really tempted. I think, I wish that we had hired Ireland to do our sidewalk project, but they were not the low bidder. They were very close to the low bidder. And in hindsight, knowing what I know now, they would have been, I don't know if you've seen the project they're doing in Jericho, but it looks excellent. And they're quick and they're doing a really nice job. I would like to just approach whoever the job foreman is on the Jericho job, have him come and take a look at this project and give us an estimate. So that's kind of where that stands. But again, there's a lot of history here, a lot of history.
I just wanted to, and if we need to go into executive session, we certainly can, but we have taken action previous to this sitting of this board.
Yes.
That this board may want to be aware of with the allocation of funds to make this right.
Yes, there was allocation. Bob made a motion several years ago, 2 years ago, I believe, to try and make this right. There's some other issues regarding water coming into the basement, so forth, drainage going down the driveway, into the garage. There's a lot of history with the fire department. There's a lot of history here. But yes, you're right, Bob. We did hire a structural consultant who I used to work with a lot to examine the wall, prepared a report. We hired a hydrologist, Greg Heindel, to come out, and he gave a report and some recommendations if you want to go that route. But this is something that's kind of fell by the wayside a little bit, and I need to get.
I'm going to move that we go into executive session.
Oh, okay. Do you want to do it at the end or right now?
Right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to kick everybody out, unfortunately, because Maureen is online.
All right, Maureen, I'll call you on your cell phone.
Okay, that sounds good.
So under 1 VSA 313A 1E, pending or probable civil litigation or prosecution to which the public body is or may be a party, I move that the Underhill Selectboard make a finding that premature general public knowledge regarding a possible prosecution or of an ordinance violation would clearly.
That's the other thing.
Oh,
That's the second.
Do you know
That's the other thing.
Do you know what the
It would be,
reference is?
it would still be the
the
same.
313A1E.
Yeah.
So move that the select board move into executive session to discuss possible litigation that would place the town of Underhill in a disadvantage.
Second.
All those in favor of moving into executive session, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, the nay. Motion carries unanimously 5-0.
So I just want to clear up a few things. So Donna, what's your cell phone, Donna? Could I just text you when we come back in, or?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Same with you, Tom. Do you want me to do that for you? Okay, thank you very much.
Wait, before you, Maureen, I'm gonna dial the last two, 4-1.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Brad. It is now 6:33. I'm gonna move that we come out of executive session. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of coming out of executive session, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, the nay. Motion carries 5-0. No action was taken in executive session. Brad, if you want to continue on with your
Yeah.
bullet points.
So, Sandra Cost is 26, and I had asked, right after the meeting, I had asked for a check, and I was told that, well, you should really have a signed copy of the minutes. A couple meetings went by, we didn't have a quorum, we got the signed copy of the minutes, but regardless, I sent her a very nice, what I thought was a nice letter, and have, that's been taken care of.
Good.
Underhill Center sidewalk. So I spoke with Scott Homestead, Krebs and Lansing. And Scott, I've worked on lots of projects with. Town of Cambridge used them for the school. You've seen that sidewalk by Kate's there. So I was involved in that project, and I did the surveying and hired Krebs to do the engineering work for a set of construction plans. Jericho got the job, and IMS, this same company that poured our sidewalk, poured that sidewalk, and I think it looks good. I'm gonna go down and meet with him early next week, and he's gonna give us some budgetary numbers, what it would take to get a set of construction drawings. I have another thought, and I think it's kind of the way I've always been in my life. Sometimes I don't operate quickly, but that has played in my favor, I think, sometimes. I'm thinking about, everybody was anxious and thought that we would try for that grant for the sidewalk for the remainder, the grant opportunity we had. I don't think, after going through that whole process with Underhill Flats, and the time it takes, I'm thinking about, okay, what kind of solution could we come up with? And I think the sidewalk here in front of Moore Park and over to the town pond is a great idea, but it still doesn't address the narrowness and the pavement we've got down here. So I thought that, we save some money by getting this pavement grant, right, for Pleasant Valley, $200,000. We're gonna have a little extra money. I don't know where this is on the schedule of repaving, but a sidewalk going across the bridge is going to have to, realigning a portion of Pleasant Valley Road is gonna be part of that. So I'm like, okay, well, if we're gonna be paving, we're gonna be shifting the lane over for the sidewalk, right? And adding more pavement or just shifting the alignment for the sidewalk because we have to go to the bridge. Why don't we think about maybe trying to add some wider shoulders down through, by Cedric's store, down through to Sand Hill. You've got the width there. It's not a lot. And then perhaps bring the lanes in to a reasonable, nothing, crazy narrow. But then you would have some shoulders. You'd have some relief. So it'd be kind of part of a bigger thing, right? So we do this concrete sidewalk and then maybe try to widen. I'm not giving up on the other sidewalk, but I'm just saying this might provide some relief for people who walk and, want to walk and come through here. Give a little more safety, give a little wider road to plow. I don't know what your thoughts on it, but it was just an idea that, and the road it's got some big cracks in pretty poor condition. So it's going to have to be repaved sometime.
Right out in front of
Yeah.
the building.
Right out through here.
Yeah.
Don't know. We don't need to get into discussion, but it's just kind of what I'm thinking. I'll meet with Scott Homestead and I'll report back next select board meeting.
Thank you.
So last week we had some trouble with a resident who was trying to get in on the online link and was not successful. So Bob asked me to look into that, and I included here in my little report what VLCT, some of their guidance. So we are not required to do hybrid meetings. We are required to record our meetings. And in the history of Underhill, I don't know, since Dan was probably on the select board the very first time, our meetings have always been televised, right? The TV company used to come right here.
Right.
With their camera.
They had TV back then.
They had TV back then.
No, they had cameras.
Small, black and white.
So, but it's the most,
Turn crank.
it's obviously, I think everybody likes Mount Mansfield TV and they like to watch the meetings afterwards. It's the most efficient way of recording our meeting. But however, everyone seems to be, since COVID, the hybrid thing is a good thought. So, but if there's so anyway, I added some recommendations here, how they felt like, what happens if someone has trouble. It says, what happens if the public attending a hybrid meeting remotely is disconnected or unable to participate due to some technical or other issue? Also, which I need to keep in mind, is on every link, there's a phone number. So I think maybe Bob and I talked at the beginning of each meeting, and we'd have it on our website. Maybe we could just say, if you're having trouble remotely coming in on your computer, please switch to the phone and call the phone number. It's a toll-free number.
I think if we incorporate that, so like when someone goes to this link to say, I'm going to the town of Underhill's, select board meeting or any meeting, they hit the button, the first thing that would come up is going to be like the rules of procedure. If this doesn't work, here's the phone number. Before you hit OK, give them an opportunity to jot down a phone number that they could call in or whatever the case may be. So that it's kind of like, we have given them, an out if they run into technical problems, because we would like to have their participation in the meeting.
There is on the agenda is a phone number to call in. It's the link and the phone number are listed at the on the agenda for every meeting.
Right.
So are you saying like a separate than that phone number or in addition to that?
In addition to that, so the first thing that someone sees, like before they, have a hot camera or hot mic when they come on, they're going to be hit with a notice saying like, this is the town of Underhill's, select board meeting or whatever the meeting is, and then here's the rules of procedure, how we do things, and if you run into any technical problems, for whatever reason, if there's an issue on their end, then, call in. If it's on our end, if we're gonna continue to do a hybrid meeting, which I'm not saying that we should discontinue, but if for whatever reason we lose connectivity here, our camera doesn't work, our audio, we've had problems with audio in the past. If we lose our capability of, sending out the signal from here, then we have to shut down. Because we're advertising that we are going to do a hybrid meeting, which we're not required to do, but I think it's important that we continue to do. I think so. I don't know what you all think, but I think it's important that we try to keep the residents as informed as possible, and if they want to, listen in, on their way home from work or whatever the case may be, they have an opportunity, or if they need to chime in and they're not feeling well, I'd rather have them, stay home and they can chime in, type of thing. So I think there's some benefits to what we're trying to do, and the frequency of losing connectivity and having snafu problems, for lack of a better term, here are hopefully they've been very low.
Yeah, we haven't had much problem.
We've had good luck.
And if we want it,
Yeah.
we should, back it up.
Right. And I just want to make sure, like, if we're going to change our rules of procedure, you guys know about that. And then if we are going to lose connectivity, like, there's a game plan in place that, okay, well, we're going to pause or we're going to shut this down and then we'll redo this again, a time date to be determined.
I think that makes sense with most people offering a virtual option for meetings. If we're having connectivity issues, it does make sense to shut down and then open it up for a new space once we have to resolve the issues. I agree.
So we can start to go in that direction and work with Brad and whatnot to get
I'll see
that.
what
Get
some other
update.
towns do too.
But we don't have to be responsible for other people's connectivity issues.
Right.
Right. If
If they
they're
have technical problems, that's on them.
And that's where the phone call.
And they can have that backup. but we'll have to determine whether it's on us or on them.
And I guess, when I called, last time, 3 times, if they're having a connectivity problem on their end, this meeting, in my mind, and hopefully in your minds, the show must go on. Because they're having an issue at home with their equipment, doesn't mean that we should pause.
Exactly, that's on them.
That's the way I looked at it, but if everyone else agrees, then it's just like, okay, well then we should memorialize that.
I agree. Makes sense.
I think that makes sense.
Sounds like a plan. All right, so electronic speed signs. So we did get the sign finally back up and running on the, just some little confusion on how to properly charge it, but it's working. And we talked about last time after this, crime. Thievery, yeah, good word. Thievery happened that, we really should have, there's a cloud package. So basically, we can remote into that sign from laptop anytime. So.
Which we have on other signs.
But we don't have on all the signs. But I think what I remember from the budget discussions was we want all signs to be on the cloud. So this is in front of you is a renewal quote. One's a renewal quote of an existing cloud package, and the other is a upgrade to the 2 remaining signs. So it's $1,500 a year per unit annually. And what's good about it is they're all a little staggered out now. So they don't all come at once.
So you want us to take action on that now?
Yes, I've prepared some motions.
Before you make the motion, I just had a question on the first quote there for the 2 signs. The motion says it costs of $1,500 annually, but it's $1,500 each annually, or $3,000 annually.
You're right. Yeah, that's
So
right.
just want to make sure we have the language right in the motion before you make it.
And don't be fooled by the renewal quote that it says on the top. That's just, I think he used that same form. This is actually a new service we're adding to these signs, the 2 remaining.
So are we, to be clear, so are we authorizing spending up to $4,500?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll do the most expensive one first. How about that? I'm gonna move to authorize Brad to upgrade the 2 remaining signs to the cloud package at the cost of $1,500 each annually for a total of $3,000. Is there a second?
Second?
Any discussion on that? Hearing none, are you ready for the question?
I have a question.
Okay.
Now, this will give us the capability of tracking.
Exactly. So we can, and I can,
So if somebody steals it, we can ping it.
we can ping it, but
Find it.
also we can generate reports, speed reports.
Great.
And I
So
used to
check
provide
lists.
those.
It's not just for tracking, it's for generating.
Yeah, I used to provide those in the packets when I had the time to do with it, and now I'll start to do that. I can give you like updates. It's
think-
easy to generate a report.
Quarterly, once you get
Sure.
your sea legs back,
We can, quarterly is a good idea, and then you can just see what's happening.
if you want more, if people want more, then we can do more, but I think quarterly would be good to find out, like, how are we doing?
Or if I see something that is really concerning, bring it up.
I'm wondering if it would be appropriate to have a little sign. If you're thinking about stealing this, it is being tracked.
Smile, you're on
You know.
camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, if we can talk about that later.
All right.
So, motion before you is to upgrade to the cloud package, the 2 remaining signs for a total of $3,000. It's been moved and seconded. Are you ready for the question? All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Hi.
Those opposed with a nay. Motion carries 5-0. So the other one that goes along with this is to move to renew the existing cloud package and authorize Brad to sign the quote for $1,500 each annually. So I'm gonna, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, are you ready for the question? All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, the nay. That motion carries 5-0. Keep swinging, Brad, you're doing great.
Right. Where are we at?
We have 2 more signs to order this year.
Yes, well, I thought, I was gonna get quotes for that, but I always like to wait a little bit, get our
So we
first,
could start that
we
process
could
Cash
start
flow
that
coming in.
process, yeah.
and think about where,
Yeah, that's a good point.
if you folks think that they ought to be set up around town.
I think for the time being, after the valley is paved, we should put the, portable sign there and keep track and see what fast folks want.
Well, I think we can have that conversation.
Yeah.
Sure, later.
So 12 Dumas Road is one of the last things here. So I met with representatives from Vermont Emergency Management. Everything looks great. I've got most of the paperwork or nearly everything there, but however, there was a brush pile that was there. And of course, I didn't include that in the demolition. I'm just like, oh, I didn't think it was that big a deal. It's a small brush pile. But they said, well, when FEMA comes out to do their site inspection, they're going to see that, and they don't like to see piles of debris, even though it's a small pile on the lawn that could be burnt in like half an hour. They don't want to see anything possibly, if it floods, get in the water. So it's de minimis, but yet they thought it was big enough to need to get rid of it. There's also a little short piece of split rail fence that I wanted to save because it was on the top of the riverbank, but they think that should be removed also, or make a case why we want to keep it. And nonetheless, there's some work that needs to be done there, and I'm more than happy to go down and torch the pile, get a permit, torch the pile, or we, I don't know if Russ could bring the loader down, or we need to get rid of it. That's what needs to happen to close that up.
The pile and the fence.
Yeah, I might make a case for the fence, but
It keeps
either way,
Oh, so one of it against the,
yeah, it is. It's against the bridge bottom. But
Russ, could you get into that and get that quickly? Pick up the file? The machinery?
or we
I
could
think
burn it.
it would burn pretty quickly. Probably.
It would. And there's another thing I failed to mention.
So dry, but start getting some water, we could probably burn it real quick.
And then
That way
Just-
not destroying the lawn area that
Yeah.
we're gonna cross. Set up back, right?
it's up back. Yeah, and then there's like half of a swing set frame or something too that's grown up in the weeds. That should go too.
And why don't we just have the guys go down, clean it up, take it out of there, then it's done?
I'd like to do that. I didn't know. Yeah, that'd be great.
We are more than happy to.
And I'll go
That way you
down.
don't have to wait on the burn.
You can stay focused on other things, and
Yeah.
Russ can,
But we can go
Russ
down
can
and
deal
check
with
it out. It's still hard down there if you go in the right way. Okay. All right, sounds good. And then I will close that.
Thank you.
I will close that up. Let Russ give the pavement update, but I did include in your packet the fully executed grant document. If you wanted to.
all right, so he's shipping it to you, Russ.
Sure. So yesterday morning, Whitcomb started the process of construction on Pleasant Valley Road. I came through at well after 6. There was about 10 to 12 dump trucks waiting by Jeff's route, which I thought looked pretty impressive.
It was very impressive.
Oh, did
They
you come
are,
through early
they
too?
are moving fast.
And then, so they, in the last 2 days, they have got the first 4 inches of old pavement removed. And tomorrow they're gonna start, I don't know if they're gonna go with another 4 inches or they're gonna start magging.
I think he said they could go, I just want to bring up one quick thing, but I don't think you guys were here, but Mike Weisel and I did some drilling. You saw us, Patty, out there. So in our initial grant application, we stated that we thought there was like 16 inches of pavement. This was based on prior road foreman's information. There's not 16 inches of pavement there. It's like anywhere between 12 in the first section and 8 on the next. I notified V-Trans of this. I said, we found some new information. They had no problem. They were glad I let them know. Regardless, it's all coming out. It's just a little bit less than we thought. But I think in the future, we need to get accurate. We've got a system down, Mike and I think we need to get accurate numbers on all our pavement so we know what we're getting. It's not hard. So, anyhow, sorry.
And you may notice, I know you've probably been through it, I don't think anybody else has been through there, but you'll notice that the road is, you can see how rough it was, even down 4 inches.
Yes.
So this is a really good thing that we're doing for that section of road, and I'm very excited to see where that goes. But hopefully, they will pave on the week of the 25th. Might be a little bit into school. School start the 25th, or is it
27th, 28th.
Okay, so it might be. We'll see. But I would say
They're moving at a good clip.
They got a very good
Incredible
start.
how much
Maureen will get out there with their
Distance.
squirt gun if they get into.
the kids go.
Very good start on.
If any of you are passing through there, Addie, you may, and you catch a picture, just snap a picture
Oh, yeah.
for me.
Do that.
Want that for the grant.
It's daylight in New England, I will.
Perfect.
Okay. Any questions about that?
I have a question to sort of old business that I don't know if it should go here or if it's something that was in the meeting notes that we're going to be reviewing to approve the meeting minutes, but I don't know if this is the right spot to bring it up. It was just a question about the exploratory work on the floor of the town hall that was going to happen. And I just was wondering if anything had happened on that yet.
My understanding it has not. They have not. That
Yeah.
and we can put that on for a future thing so that we don't lose sight of that. And I think that's going forward. I'd like to try to so we don't lose things.
Exactly. Create a
I
parking
think
lot.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
good catch.
let's add it to the parking lot for the future. We don't have to.
But I think, what we can talk about briefly, I think, or do you want to, why don't we do under member correspondence, or you can do it now, I guess. Do you want to give them a little update on the windows and that type of thing, or where we're at with the construction type of thing with Seth and how that's going?
Yeah, since you want to just do it now, I mean,
why not?
so Seth's doing a really good job. He rented a lift, he got up high, trying to find any spots that were soft or needed new clapboards or needed a little Bondo maybe or something hardener, making it paint ready. So apparently he's almost done here, and he's going to move down to the post office. But Jennifer and I spoke, and after thinking about it a little more, instead of cutting such a big hole, maybe cut like a 4x4 hole in the floors up there. And why not? Seth's right here. We'll just have him do it. So that's where that stands on that, Maureen. But he's ordered the windows. We've got a couple windows boarded up. He put the storm system in the window, the sash, where the sash was upstairs. And I'm finishing restoring that this weekend because I've done a lot of old glass. And so I'll bring that back. We'll get that installed, and then the painters are going to start. So
Nice.
that's where we're at.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So the next item on the agenda is to discuss the 2026 dump truck loan. We have a memo that came in.
I'm not seeing that in my packet.
I thought we had it. I remember if
PDF page. Oh, it's a phone system.
this is the passive. This was for the liability.
There's that.
Did it get missed?
It was in there because
It was in there before, but I don't think I have it.
I remember
I
reading
don't
it.
have it either.
Yeah, there's the memo is in the packet that I'm
Here it is.
online.
PDF page 51.
I think there's a little memo, maybe you could read it. I don't have it
You
either.
want me to read it?
Yeah, 'cause I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I have it in this.
I don't know why it's not in mine either, Bob.
Well, we'll have
It's
to get
after the phones.
We'll have to get, after the, photocopier. Here it is.
We do have it.
Memo from Sherry dated August 7th, 2025. As you know, the voters authorized the purchase of a new dump truck at the May 2025 special town meeting by the voters giving approval that allows the board to move forward with securing a loan. What it doesn't do is authority the treasurer to borrow that lies solely with the board. The board needs to authorize the treasurer to seek financing via a motion. The bank will be asking for the minutes showing authorization. Once authorized, the loan documents will be forthcoming. So Sherry says, I should move that the Underhill Selectboard authorize the town treasurer to move forward with securing a loan for the new 2026 dump truck approved at the 2025 special town meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion?
Yes.
Okay.
I did see that in the packet, and I got a little concerned because it was brought up at a past meeting that this would happen, but it wouldn't happen until I went to Sherry and said, we're ready to do this. So I stopped and saw Sherry Monday, and we talked about it, and I said, because I can give you a little update on where the truck is at this point, but the truck is built to accept the dump body. So the plow frame, the wing tower, all that is installed. But they're having a severe problem with body manufacturing, getting bodies. So I'm not sure how long it's going to be delayed because they're having a severe backlog on dump bodies. So I didn't want to get into the problem we had with the excavator and the trailer where we had taken a loan for X, but we only needed Y. And then we had extra money, and she agreed, and we were all on board. We had a good meeting. She was saying, well, this is basically just to give her approval to go get the loan or to go get rates, comparable rates, and not actually have documents in place because we don't know at this point whether we're going to trade in our 2017 or we're going to keep it and sell it outright. So that will make a difference on where we're at with the trade or with the final number to take a loan out. So
Change this motion.
So she was all good with that. Like I said, we had a good meeting. It just.
I don't think you need to change the motion because the loan documents will come and then, so once Russ knows his information, she'll just change the loan amount and then you'll have loan documents that reflect what the cost
So
is.
she probably will go and get approval for the amount that was approved up to. And then once we have that final number, then the loan will be for that final number.
So, but this is, the motion that is here is to secure the loan.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, there's a difference between securing a loan and securing financing or obtaining rates.
Yeah, you're the only one that can secure the loan.
So,
Well, you and Sherry, as the treasurer. I don't know, if you want to reword it, semantics, I think.
But it sounds like we don't need to do the loan, the legwork on the loan can wait until we're closer, until you have a better date from
Right.
from the.
Well, why wouldn't you go get rates from different banks using the amount we got approved?
That the rates are gonna change.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
They
I mean,
change.
they're gonna, they change every day. So I mean, she can get some indicative rates, but if it's gonna be 2 months out,
I don't know.
3 months out,
I hope not, but
well, what we could do is we could move this and you could vote against it and then we could put it in the parking lot like that.
or how about we move that,
Or amend
we
it.
authorize Sherry to begin researching.
You have a motion on the table now, so you have to reword the whole thing. So I would rather just fail this and then we can start over.
I just want to say one other thing. You're moving her to secure the loan, but it doesn't say when.
yeah, that's true. That's
You got-
kind of how
you gotta-
she explained it.
You gotta get it done sometime. You're gonna have to give her authorization sometime.
That's how she explained it.
Nobody's gonna be borrowing any money until you approve it.
And we don't have to pay any money until the whole thing is done? Okay.
We
But
don't,
really, this is
Yeah.
giving her the authorization to move forward when the time is appropriate. It's not,
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's
it's
not setting a
Yeah, we can-
timeline on it.
As long as Sherry's gonna listen to this, yeah?
I'll
She'll
tell
listen
her,
to the
I'll say, look, why don't we hold off on, they give you authorization to secure the loan.
But,
Let's hold off on securing the loan till Russ has the right information.
exactly.
And we know the dump truck is gonna be ready.
Right.
If they don't have the dump body, then
But
it's
you're
just
good.
like, it's gonna be a little while, it's just like, we gotta
And then
figure out
she
when that's
can
gonna be.
prepare whatever she needs to prepare, but
Right,
she
Yeah.
can,
because she needs the minutes
right, she
to
can
show the bank.
facilitate the timing to be more specific once the dump body is ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I mean, you could do this 2 months from now.
Let's just do it now.
Yeah,
Ready?
as is.
Any other discussion? Ready for the question? All those in favor of the select board authorizing the town treasurer to move forward with securing a loan for the new 2026 dump truck approved at the 2025 special town meeting, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, the nay. That motion carries 5-0. All right,
All right, so-
now, Russ, you, asked for some time, for some recognition.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to just say that I think it's great that we're adding this whole business type of thing. I think it's wonderful. I think it's gonna really help us in the long run of keeping on top of things, no matter what it be. So, good job on that, to bring that on. Second thing I've got is, I'd like to add on I enjoy coming to these meetings. I may not always have something that I need approval on, but I do enjoy coming and being part of the group and discussions and so on. So thank you for that. But I'd like to, if it's okay with you guys, if you're interested, is to give me a few minutes, not a lot, just a few minutes for a road foreman or road supervisor updates from what we have been doing and what we plan on doing. I continue to be very proud of our workforce and the jobs that we are doing and the completion of our jobs. And I think it's good that you folks all know what we're doing and what we plan on doing, and the public may enjoy knowing, because they may not see us. We could be on this side of town and Poker Hill's like, wait, where's that road crew? Just of what we're doing. If you're interested, if you're not, I respect that. But I'm proud to express
It's a good idea to have an update.
what we do
Each meeting.
between meetings and what we have planned coming up.
Brief update, doesn't
Just
have to
brief,
be,
nothing's
where you're working, what's going on, projects in the
Right.
hopper.
that's
Okay.
Yeah,
what
I
I
think
would
that's a
like.
great idea.
We can add that to, future agendas for sure.
And then the last thing, again, in Underhill, I think we're very fortunate to have some very thoughtful people in town that are willing to help us in time of need. And last meeting, I wanted to recognize somebody who helped us and did not charge us, did it all on their own, but we had to install the historical sign up on Poker Hill Road. The big ones, there's one in front of the old schoolhouse out here, but we have one on Poker Hill, which required us drilling a hole into the ground. We could have dug it and made a mess and whatever, but a nice drilled hole would be perfect. So just want to recognize that Chris Boley from Terrain Tech donated his time and his machinery to drill that nice hole for us to mount that sign, and it kept it clean and neat, and we didn't have any repair to their lawn to do. So that was what I thought
That's
was
really
very,
nice.
appreciate Chris and his crew for doing that.
Absolutely. The
Okay.
timing was with the barn burn. I've talked
I
to so many people on the road who are like, the barn was historic.
I was there the next day. We were supposed to meet with him, Russ and I and Roger, and we asked him, I said, you probably got your hands full. We don't need to meet today, but he wanted to meet. But it's really, I won't say a great story, but it's just, it's an amazing story that, here was this barn commanded the whole lot. I mean, it was 80 feet by 40 feet. It was a beautiful barn. Bob unfortunately saw it on fire, but it was a beautiful barn, very old, mid 19th century, early 19th century barn, and just commanded that whole lot. It's a beautiful spot. You can see why that's one of the earliest settlements. But he plans to rebuild, so.
Can we draft a letter, please, on behalf of the town to Chris and ask the Historical Society to chime in on that too? Okay.
Excellent idea.
That's a great idea, Bob.
And then the last recognition we utilized today and in the last couple of weeks, but we've had some beaver issues arise on Upper Underhill Settlement Road. And Isaac Cowan, who was a resident of Irish Settlement, we were able to utilize his small excavator to help clean the culvert out.
English or Irish?
English. Yeah. I'm sorry, that's Irish.
Yeah, you did. That's okay.
Upper English Settlement off Poker Hill. And so that's a great asset because when it first came up, we were busy up here and he was right there. And he's like, hey, I got my excavator. I'm willing to help you and, not charge us. He did that twice for us. And then they really got it plugged last week here. So today we ended up having Dave Davis came down with his tractor and logging winch and was able to get on one side. We were able to get it. Don't ask how we did it. I'm going to tell you. We got a cable through and we hitched an old truck tire to it. And he used his tractor and winch to pull that tire through and bring that glob of beaver mess out, and which unplugged that and water started flowing. And without people like that, it saved us a lot of time and energy. I'm just thankful that we have people like that in town that are willing to help us. And so I just would like that on public record that those two residents helped us immensely today. That's what I've got.
Thank you to Dave as well. Should we send him a letter too?
I think so.
And Isaac Cowan, if you want to, they're
just, it's good to recognize them.
All right. You ready to move on to the phone system?
We can.
Yep. Okay.
So that's the next item is we have some information in the packet regarding the telephone system. Brad's got a memo to us about that.
Yeah, so Dan, I think, experienced some, didn't you try to call in Dan one time and?
Yeah, it was
phone issues?
an adventure.
Yeah. I mean, this phone system's really old, and every time I come in the morning, my screen is like full of hashtags and exclamation points and lesser signs and greater signs. It's just all a mess.
that's swearing.
Yeah, it is. Phone swearing. Exactly. And then when you're on the phone, we have caller ID, which is nice because I like to jot down someone's number. But about 1 minute into the conversation, the number starts to change. So the number if you don't write down immediately, the number will change. I'm like, how is this happening? So the phones have a mind of their own. And so one person reached out to us, and I was having problems with the phone one day, and I said, I sent a proposal and I'll talk with you. So that was the second quote, but then we had some issues with Larry and Maya trying to get their extensions correct for planning and zoning. Now that we have 2 extensions over there. So Integrity Communications came out. They set up our original phone system. They said, yeah, everybody's switched to voice over internet. It's just what people are doing now. We still do need, as I explained in my memo, we still need hard line coming in for the fire alarm dialer to the fire department. But I think either way, I included what we spend basically a year on the phones. It's about close to $5,000. I think if we switch to these new phones, you don't pay for the phones, they're part of the package.
Mhm.
I think we're either gonna save money or it'd be roughly around the same cost. So, I would like to just stay local, even though I think Integrity Communications is kind of going by the wayside a little bit. Because these digital companies are all run out of state anyhow, but I just feel better in the beginning working with somebody in South Burlington rather than Texas, even though their price is a little more. I would say that Integrity's quote included tax, so we'll make sure we don't get charged tax. So you could, it's, the company in Texas was certainly cheaper, but when I asked them if they had any clients in Vermont, they said no. So,
I think it makes sense to say.
They should have said not yet.
not yet. Well, I think that's what he did say.
Okay.
What about the phone over at the garage?
So your internet's not strong enough for
I got it.
voice over phone there. So someday,
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
It would be nice because our phone
I know,
systems
I know.
stinks.
But as soon as the beat money comes through and we get you served, you're underserved now.
Okay, that was going to be one of my questions.
Yeah,
because
it's not enough. We barely, with the Comcast here, have enough juice.
Well, when we build a road,
That too.
Mansfield,
As a side note to that, I think town garage upgrades should
It
probably
is.
be somewhere on our parking list or parking lot list.
Excellent.
I had a question about the internet phone
Hear
system.
Maureen?
I heard it very clearly.
Okay, I just want to make sure everybody heard Maureen.
Okay. I didn't forget, Russ.
What was the question?
About the internet phone service, what is when the internet is out, what is the accessibility options?
So we'll still have our dial alarm phones. We'll still have 2 hard lines coming in here. So
Okay.
we'll be able,
I think you have to have one for the elevator and one for the fire alarm.
Right.
So the fire alarm still has to have it. I think the backup, so the fire alarm, if it can't grab a line to transmit the signal that Rome is burning, then it can grab, the backup can be the
The
voice
fax
or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if we could eliminate some phone lines and do it over the internet, I think that would be probably, a lot of folks are doing that.
Yeah.
and you can we'll be able to save messages, something we're not, I've got messages saved from when I got here 5-6 years ago. So,
Yeah, you can save them like it's an email.
exactly. So,
Easy.
so anyway, I made a motion, suggested
So-
motion.
So move to authorize the town staff to participate in a free demonstration with Integrity Communications. And if satisfied, they may move forward with their proposal to purchase the phone system. Is there a second?
Second,
Any discussion?
and just to reiterate, this is basically budget neutral.
I don't think, if it winds up being an excessive amount more, I'll let you know, but I got a feeling we're either gonna save money or it'll be about the same.
Okay.
Even if it's $100 more, we need good phones.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Ready for the question? All those in favor of authorizing staff to participate in a demonstration with Integrity and to move forward with a phone proposal, if need be, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed with a nay. That motion carries 5-0. All right. We are now at closing public comment. There is no one new here at the town hall. I don't see anyone in the virtual world. So we can move on to review and approve warrants and approve minutes for the June 24th regular meeting. So let us begin. I'm going to move that we approve the warrant dated July 30th, 2025. Is there a second?
Second,
Any discussion? Ready for the question? All those in favor of approving the warrants dated July 30th, 2025, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That motion carries 5-0. I'm gonna move that we approve the payroll warrant dated July 28th, 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Patty. Any discussion? Hearing none, are you ready for the question? All those in favor of approving the payroll warrant dated July 28th, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Those opposed, the nay. That motion carries 5-0. I'm gonna move that we approve the payroll warrant dated August 11th, 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, are you ready for the question? All those in favor of the payroll warrant dated August 11th, 2025, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed with a nay. Sorry, Maureen.
I said aye.
I know, but I was like an auctioneer, I'm trying to get, getting this. I was using my spidey senses and figured that you were gonna say yes, but I shouldn't do that. I won't redo it, so that motion carries 5-0. I'll slow it down, Maureen. All right, so I'm gonna move that we approve the warrants dated August 12th, 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, are you ready for the question? All those in favor of approving the warrants dated August 12th, 2025, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed with a nay. That motion carries 5-0. And last but not least, I move that we approve the select board meeting minutes for July 24th, 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. Is there any discussion?
I'll be abstaining because I was absent.
Okay, so we'll do a roll call vote. Any other discussion? Ready for the question? All those in favor of the select board meeting minutes, please register your vote at this time. Bob Stone, aye.
Dan Steinbauer, aye.
I'm sorry, is that June 24th or was that July 24th?
July 24th.
Ooh,
Thank you.
sorry, my bad.
Thank you. Yeah, aye.
Good catch.
Maureen Collins Cole, aye.
Patty Richards abstaining.
That motion carries 4-0-1.
And I'll plan to come in on Monday to sign warrants and stuff.
You don't have to, Maureen. We got enough signatures, but if you want to, that'd be great.
Okay.
All right, the next item on the agenda is member items, correspondence, announcements scheduled. The next scheduled select board meeting is set for the 28th of August at 6 o'clock here at the town hall. Does anybody have anything?
Just want to talk about that town meeting or the town report thing.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
no, you're
Right now.
Yeah.
So VLCT sent a thing out. There's a contest for town report. They're gonna pick the best town report and announce the winner at town fair. So I'd like to enter our town report in the contest,
From last year or the new one?
the new one.
Okay.
The one we just did.
The latest, the
Yeah.
last one. that we-
Yeah.
Great.
So
Yeah.
I think that's an
I was
excellent,
just gonna do it, but I figured, well, I might as well ask you.
it's an excellent idea. Great.
And we'll see how we place.
Good idea.
So,
Yeah, it was a great report. Really well done.
yeah, we'll see how it goes. Maybe we'll win something.
So the town fair, so everyone knows, if you want to pencil that out in case you're interested, there's a flyer here. We can scan it and send it to everybody's email, but it's set for October 8th at the Doubletree by Hilton in South Burlington. So we'll scan this and send this out. If folks want to go to this,
Should have
please send it.
something in your email too about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure, but I'm more
We
than
can-
happy to send something.
Like,
Or just-
what is it? Like, what?
It's the town fair.
House French fries, fried dough.
The Vermont League of Cities and Towns. It's the Vermont League of Cities and Towns. not all towns belong to it, but I'd say the majority of towns in the state. So it's the annual meeting.
It's more for like the officials, like where we have the town fair in May, where we go where there's equipment and vendors.
Yeah,
For the worker, the highway crew, this is more on the like select boards.
No, this is for you too.
Wow.
This training track is for clerks and treasurers, listers and assessors, highway and road officials, town managers and administrators, and select board and city council members.
We'll have to rent a premier bus while I go.
All right,
So anyway, I will submit that because the deadline's tomorrow.
great.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
Do you have to have a head count of who from us?
No, that's for the town. report.
That's,
Oh,
I just want to register the town report in the
But
comments.
that's the town
Yes,
fair
got it.
little flyer that came
Yeah.
out, so if you wanna
if we
participate,
want to go.
you're giving you a heads up.
That's it. Yeah.
There was a memo that came, that I'm gonna read into the record, that just came this afternoon from, Mr. Belton.
I think she wanted to come on September 11th. right?
She can, but I wanna read
Okay.
this now. Hello. So this, it was a lot smaller when I read it at home. It's a 2-pager.
Want to print it out for you or?
No, I can read it. It's gonna take a little bit, but, here we go. To Brad Holden and the Underhill Selectboard from Kurt and Sue Belton for the Cemetery Volunteer Committee regarding a report on the August 9th, VOCA Underhill Town Cemetery Workday dated August 13th, 2025. Saturday, August 9th, 2025, 30 volunteers gathered at the Sand Hill Cemetery called the Hannaford Cemetery by some. Included in the group were 3 Vermont Old Cemetery Association volunteers, Jay Nidu, Chittenden County Rep, Jeff Boswick, and Diane Leary. There were 12 members of the Hannaford Fife and Drum Corps, whose namesake Captain Nathaniel Hannaford, a veteran of the War of 1812, is buried there. The Corps in the past had contributed yearly sprucing up at the site, but hadn't been involved since around 2011. Saturday's group was mostly young, more recent members who had never been to the burying ground and seen the Hannaford family memorials. They seemed to be intrigued and energized and contributed much effort towards stone clearing and repairing the entire stayed for the entire 4-hour session. Several traveled from as far away as Plattsburgh, New York, and Franklin on this side of the lake, up near the Canadian border. Many of the remaining volunteers were local folks and expressed interest at our last town meeting. Some came out of the blue from Essex and surrounding towns after reading articles in the Mountain Gazette or seeing notices in the Front Porch Forum. A member of our own select board, Patty Richards, participated. 6 of the original cemetery committee members fulfilled various duties, and several folks just showed up without prior notice. They were not turned away. The morning began at 7:15 with the arrival of Sue and Kurt Belton to lay out the tools and set up the water. The day started out at a refreshing 68 degrees, but rapidly warmed up as the session progressed. Shortly after 7:30, the first VOCA volunteers showed up and immediately got to work loading wheelbarrows with SurePack and digging around some stones that needed straightening. Their dedication was obvious. By 8 o'clock, the bulk of the volunteer group had arrived. We all gathered for an orientation and groups immediately formed to start their tasks. Roughly half the workers took on the job of spraying and cleaning stones while the rest got busy learning how to right tilt and the fallen headstones and footstones. The VOCA volunteers spent the first half of the morning moving amongst the group, giving advice and pitching in as help was needed. By noontime, 47 stones had been straightened and some repaired with Portland mortar or broken stones stuck back together with epoxy. In those 4 hours, 2 yards of SurePack were consumed and 172 stones had been cleaned. The volunteer committee of 8 met 3 times previously to this occasion. Completing the much work in a morning required much planning and logistical coordination. Future volunteers were recruited using personal contacts, media announcements, and significant follow-up. Essie Howe and Susan Thomas were our PR representatives. VOCA volunteers were sources of important information, advice, and preliminary work at the site. They also brought many tools, cleaning kits, clamps, boards, mortar, and epoxy. Diane Leary, a VOCA officer, gave up 3 days in May and July to work on the brush clearing and help prioritize our goals for the VOCA workday. Nate Sullivan provided much expertise and leadership at the previous 2 workdays, brought, delivered, and dumped SurePack a day early and arrived on August 9th with a SAP container filled with water required for the repair work. Essie Howell took care of planning and ordering, and Susan Thomas helped with setting up our community lunch and all participants at Town Hall following the morning's efforts. Ralph Highland and the Beltons provided and delivered the bulk of the required tools Friday. Dennis and Reza Williamson provided access through their private property, allowing parking in the meadow for the 15 or so cars, and a means to deliver tools, material, and a path to remove more than 2 cords of wood from the dismantled red maple. Brad Holden took responsibility for breaking down that wood to a transportable size and securing the removal prior to the workday. As much as was accomplished August 9th, there are still follow-up tasks to complete. Not all memorials were straightened. Some others need application of mortar or epoxy. Debris from stone excavation needs to be removed or distributed, and the remaining large cobbles need to be removed. Unmarked grave sites should be confirmed and marked, and there are probably some missing stones obscured beneath the turf that could be located. The Beltons purchased and delivered another yard of SurePack, and they are at least one VOCA member. I have scheduled another work morning on August 15th to complete some of the above listed tasks. Further monument repair is expected to extend into several more sessions of effort. Hannaford Fife and Drum Corps have promised to participate in stone repair in the future. The Williamsons have made it clear that they would like no more vehicle traffic across their property for the rest of the season, so access to the cemetery will be limited to Sand Hill Road path and the mowed path up from River Road. The committee would like to thank the Select Board for their support and leadership, the Williamsons for the use, of their property, Brad Holden for his contributions of labor and preparation, and the volunteers who participated in all the work days in the VOCA for their efforts and expertise, allowing us to accomplish more than we thought possible. So I thought that was important for the public to hear that. There's going to be a more of a report that will be coming around the 11th of September. But I thought, well, this was relevant now and should be shared with you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Patty.
thank you.
Very well.
Thank you.
I
That
like
was really nice.
to go up and take a peek at it. It's a
Yeah.
brand new site.
Yeah.
You know, still got some stuff to do along the edges, you know, kind of a little bit more work on stones, but it looks really good.
Good. Awesome. Any other correspondence?
I have one quick thing that I just want to share. I like to give recognition when it's due. And I was welcomed with a message at the town garage when I got back one day last week from a resident on Butler Road who has lived there for over 40 years. And he just wanted to say how for the last couple of years, his road has been maintained above and beyond it has ever been maintained in the last 40 years. So that gives credit to Ken, who plows the sands in the winter, and Scott, who grades it in the summer. And I did share that with the crew. We say like that, we'll pat on the back, but I just think it's nice that everybody hears that kind of stuff. And again, I'm very proud of the crew, and to get messages like that are pretty cool.
Thank you for sharing.
Awesome.
I
All right.
second that with Stevensville Road.
That is my road that
You do a beautiful job. Thank you.
All right, if there's no other member correspondence, we're going to move into executive session 1 VSA 313A1E, pending or probable civil litigation or prosecution to which the public body is or may be a party to, in 1 VSA 313A3, the appointment or employment or evaluation of a public officer or employee. So I'm gonna move that the select board, I'm gonna move that, so there's gonna be a couple motions here. I'm gonna move that the select board makes a finding that premature general public knowledge regarding possible prosecution of an ordinance violation could clearly place the public body at a substantial disadvantage, as it will disclose the select board's deliberations regarding the enforcement litigation strategy and priorities and any negotiation related thereto. So that's motion number one. I'm gonna move that. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Ready for the question? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed with a nay. Motion carries 5-0. I'm also going to move that the select board enter executive session to discuss the possible prosecution of a nuisance ordinance violation on Paul Cook Road in the town of Underhill. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Is there, who do you want to be involved in?
That, for that discussion will be the 5 members of the select board and the town health officer.
I'm going home.
Have a nice day.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Russ.
Thanks.
Hi, Russ.
All those in favor of going into executive session for motion number 2, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed with a nay, that motion carries 5-0. Once we conclude with that, we're going to have another executive session for 1 VSA 313A3, the appointment or employment or evaluation of a public officer or employee. That will be the 5 members of the select board only. Is there a second? Any discussion? Hearing none, are you ready for the question? All those in favor of the last reason for going into executive session, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, the nay. That motion carries 5-0. So what we'll do is we will stop the recording. We can go upstairs. That would probably be the easiest thing. And then I will record when we come out of executive session and any action taken.
Yeah, we'll start the
So-
recording again.
Go from there.
Bob, then do you want to just call me again? When you
Yeah, I
guys are
can
ready?
call you. We can go upstairs to the kitchen, and then when we're done, we'll come back. And if you want to hang out, you can.
Yeah.
Or if you want to,
No, I can hang out and wait. You should, yeah.
all right. So it is now 8:25. We went into executive session at 7:36. It is now 8:25. We are still at the town hall. And I'm going to move that we come out of executive session. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of coming out of executive session, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, the nay.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. I did it again, Maureen. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I've got poor
Oh,
network connection.
Sorry, you're fine. I'm the one. So the action steps that we dealt with while we were in the executive session is that the select board is going to continue to support and monitor the town health officer and animal control officer regarding a complaint that we have received on Paul Cook Road. Additional information will be received once that issue has been resolved. So we're going to continue to monitor that. And the second item is that we're going to reevaluate the stipends, job duties, and responsibilities of staff. So that's what we did while we were in executive session. Anything else? Okay, well, then your favorite time of the meeting.
I will accept that honor.
Dan has moved to
I
adjourn.
move we adjourn.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Maureen, I'm gonna let you go first and say, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
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 Those opposed with a nay. Motion carries
Oh,
5-0.
Oh, no. You know what? My computer is ready to be done. My computer is like cutting out on the network. So I'm glad we're wrapping up.
Good timing on the computer's part. All right, we're done. Have a
You
good
know,
night.
right?